Parasites are creatures that live on or inside other organisms, drawing energy and nutrients from them to survive, often at the host's expense. Parasites can be merely annoying, like head lice, or deadly, like the plasmodium that causes malaria. But did you know that parasites are actually a really important part of any ecosystem, and scientists can actually tell a lot about an organism or the environment by studying parasites? Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bite-Sized Science You Can Sink Your Teeth Into. I'm your host, Dr. Mariëtte van der Walt, and today we're talking about bats and their parasites, and why these creepy hitchhikers are important. Today's illustrations feature the Egyptian slit-faced bat, also known as Nycteris the biker. Let's get started. Parasites are incredibly diverse, and we can classify parasites into two groups based on where they live. First, we have the endoparasites, which live on the inside of their hosts. So these parasites you find in organs, intestines, and in the bloodstream, and they include examples like the tapeworm. Ectoparasites live on the external surface of their host, and they include things like lice, ticks, and fleas, which attach themselves to their host by using the skin or fur or hair of their host. Bats in particular have their own set of very interesting ectoparasites, and these parasites are known as batflies, and they live and feed on the blood of bats. Now there are two kinds of batflies. The first are the nycteribrids, also known as the spider-like batflies, and they're called this because of their flat spider-like bodies. Now these batflies don't have wings, so that they can easily scurry through the fur of the bats. The second and closely related batflies to the nycteribrids are the streblids, and these are known as the hairy-winged batflies. And unlike the nycteribrids, they do actually have wings, but they have specially adapted very spiky hairs and really strong claws to hang onto the bats. But apart from being quite creepy and quite weird looking, why should we be interested in these bat parasites? Firstly, the presence and abundance of parasites can tell us about the health of those individual bats, because healthy bats tend to have lower parasite loads. Particularly with ectoparasites, bats have the ability to groom themselves or others in the colony and remove these pesky hitchhikers. But when bats are unhealthy, probably because they are stressed due to changes in their environment or due to climate change, their ability to control these parasites diminishes. So recent scientific studies have shown that when bats' habitats are destroyed or fragmented, their health goes down and the number of parasites that they have on them or inside them increases. And that shows us that the environment isn't healthy and it has a direct effect on individual bats and the numbers of parasites that they have. And this not only affects individual bat health, but also tells us about broader ecological health and the dynamics involved. Next, seasonal changes greatly affect parasite load and abundance in bats. During the breeding season, it is usually the wet season, the humidity is higher, and these parasites tend to survive much better and they're able to reproduce, and so there are more parasites to go around. During the breeding season, bats also congregate in larger numbers, and this increases the spread of parasites between individuals. Understanding this tells us about when bats might be most at risk of parasite infection, and it also tells us how climate change could affect these different cycles. So we already briefly mentioned this, but the structure of a bat colony is also really important in parasitic infection, because in denser bat colonies, individuals are packed closely together, and this allows the parasites to spread more easily from individual to individual. And this is similar to how the flu spreads in a big, densely packed crowd. So, say you destroy a bat cave and the bats in that cave need to move to a new cave. So that means that there are two populations of bats living in the same habitat where previously there was only one. And this means that a lot more individuals are packed into the same space. And this is why it's really important for us to preserve natural and spacious bat habitats in order to keep our bat populations healthy and to reduce the spread of parasitic infections. And there's another interesting thing about these specific parasites. So they are host specific. And what this means is that they only occur on bats because they can only live and reproduce on bats. Such host specificity can tell scientists a lot about the evolutionary relationships between the parasites and their hosts. And it is actually quite good news for us because while they are quite creepy and disgusting to look at, it does mean that they won't ever transfer to our pets or ourselves, and they pose no direct threat to us. So, by studying these parasites, scientists can tell a lot about the health of individual bats, health of bat populations, as well as the health of the entire ecosystem. So, conservation efforts can then be planned and implemented by scientists in order not only to protect bats and their environments, but also the entire ecosystem. And this ensures that bats can continue to provide the very crucial ecosystem services that they do, which include pollination and insect suppression and predation. So, next time you think about bats and their creepy hitchhikers, remember that they play a really important role in our understanding of the health of ourselves and of our ecosystems. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, before you leave, do give this video a like, a share, and do subscribe to the channel for more bite-sized science insights. Until next time!